Hi guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you the story of why I stopped drinking coffee. Now, if you know me well at all, or you've been in my life for very long, you know that coffee is a big deal to me. I was born and raised in Guatemala, and in Guatemala, coffee is basically water. You drink it from like baby on up. You drink it all the time. And it's been a huge part of my life where honestly it doesn't feel like the day is complete unless you sat down to drink a cup of coffee. It doesn't feel like you got together with friends unless you're drinking a cup of coffee. It's more sentimental to me than anything else. I think it's just part of like the way I was raised, and so it's a pretty big deal to me. All right, so question for you. Have you guys ever been in a place in your health specifically, and as a mom specifically, that you have been so desperate for relief and you've been so desperate for answers that you will literally do anything to feel better and to feel like yourself again? That is where I was coming from. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of pinpoint exactly when all of my symptoms started, but I definitely know that my symptoms got consistently worse with each pregnancy that I had. And I'm not sure if that's just a coincidence or if that's played a part in it. I know pregnancy is crazy. It is so sacred and so beautiful, but it's crazy and it does crazy stuff to your body, right? Like there's so much change that happens in your body when you're pregnant, when you give birth, and while you're nursing, and the whole time is just a little insane. So it very could well be that played a role in making my symptoms worse. Not sure, but I definitely know that specifically when I was pregnant with Zuri, the symptoms were just out of control. So my pregnancy, like physical wise, was actually a pretty good pregnancy with Zuri. I mean, both of my pregnancies were, I didn't have any complications. I feel very blessed to be able to say that. They were really smooth pregnancies. The birth was really easy. So I'm really thankful for that. But my pregnancy with Zuri was so incredibly difficult. It was not a fun year at all. The symptoms got really, really crazy. And when I say symptoms, I'm talking like bad irritability. I was irritable, itchy, like my entire body would get itchy, especially when I was feeling especially irritable. Just everything was itchy. I felt like I just had to itch everything. Low tolerance. I just couldn't deal with stuff. I couldn't tolerate it well. Patience was like, what even is that? Just didn't have patience. Anxiety. I dealt with anxiety, and if you know me well, you know that that's pretty out of character for me. I never dealt with anything like that before, so it was pretty scary. When I was pregnant with Zuri, I actually had a couple panic attacks, which is just really freaked me out because I'm like, why is this even happening? Getting angry. I just had I remember just snapping at the kids more and being more, just feeling so angry, and it really scared me. I remember it was just such a humbling experience because I had to apologize to the kids so many times during that time, and it really, really freaked me out. Because have you ever felt like, what is going on and who is this person? Like, I didn't recognize myself. I didn't know what was happening, but it didn't feel like me. And I knew something was out of control, and it was honestly terrifying. I remember just feeling like, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? Like, I legit thought maybe I'm losing my mind. What's happening to me? Sorry, I'll just move this over. So obviously I'm married to Ken, so he can't get away from me. So he knows something's going on with Jen. I wasn't my usual just carefree, happy self. And I remember just crying my eyes out to him, like, something's going on. And I wanted so desperately for him to believe me, for him to believe that something real was going on in my body. It wasn't me just being crazy, because I could be. It wasn't me just feeling angry, because I could be. And I don't want to excuse anger. That's not what I want to do here. Because I do think that we have a lot of control. We can't have control over that. But this was really nuts. And I wanted him to look me in the eye, and I wanted him to see that he believed me, that he knew something was up here. And, you know, that something's going on in my body that's a little bit out of my control. And he looked me in the eye and he said, babe, I believe you, and we're not going to stop until we find out what's going on. It just felt such a huge sense of relief, like, it's going to be okay, we're going to figure this out, right? So while I was pregnant with Zuri, we did a lot of research, and we ended up putting me on a magnesium supplement. And magnesium is really, really great for relieving symptoms of anxiety and stress. It's also great for the nervous system. So I will do a live, actually, maybe next week, maybe the week after, specifically on magnesium, because it is a really incredible supplement, and most people are deficient in magnesium. So it really did help to relieve my symptoms. It didn't take them away completely, but it felt like it gave me a breath to, like, breathe again a little and to have some relief of my symptoms. So that was really incredible to get me through my pregnancy. And Zuri was born, and then now it's 2 years later, right? And I feel like my symptoms started to kind of act up again. Like, they had never quite gone away completely, but they were manageable. But then lately they had just started to get really bad again. Like, I was struggling to feel okay, and the irritability was getting worse again. And it was to the point where when us kids, I'm a little distracted because Seal's talking to me out of the window. What, buddy? Okay, close the window, then you can't hear me. Okay. Have a good quiet time. I love you.
Okay, but please be a little quiet.
Okay. It's their quiet tab. To the point where when Ken and I would be sitting on the couch in the evening, we would end up sitting on opposite sides of the couch. We wouldn't even sit together because I just couldn't deal. And I would apologize over and over again, like, babe, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to explain it. Dinner time in the evening was just like, I could barely get through it. Everything would just make me so irritable. And I remember I got to a point where I said, I cannot live like this anymore. I can't. I won't live like this for the rest of my life. I just can't do it. And we're gonna find answers. Like, I just got to the end of it. I'm like, nope, I'm calling bull on this. No way. And so that led me to begin a conversation with a woman that had been following for a while, and she specializes in women's issues and hormonal issues, and she takes a more natural and herbal approach to healing the body. Seal, go to bed, please. Seal, obey. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. I'm outside, but he obviously can still hear me, so it's curious. Where was that? Right. So she takes a more natural herbal approach to healing the body, and that really, really intrigued me. I wasn't looking to get on any kind of drugs or anything. So I started a conversation with her, and I gave her my symptoms and what I was dealing with, and she gave me several ideas on what I could do, and also just helping me understand a little bit what was going on in my body. And the top thing that she said she said, based on the symptoms that you're having, you absolutely cannot be drinking coffee. It's definitely making it so much worse. And I just said how coffee is such a big part of my life, but when she said that, I didn't even flinch. I'm like, if that is what is gonna make my life more normal, if that's gonna make me feel like a human again, done. It was just done. So I quit coffee cold turkey. And I actually didn't have any withdrawal symptoms, which was really nice. I think subconsciously, even months before, I think I knew that I didn't feel my best when I drank coffee. And so I had already slowed down a little bit, just to like 1 cup a day. Some days I would even skip. So like it was starting to dwindle down a little bit. So I had no withdrawal symptoms with drinking coffee. So I quit cold turkey. I don't do things halfway. I never have. And guys, within a couple days, a week, 2 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm feeling better. Like, I think I'm actually feeling relief. And I think I was scared to even say that out loud. Like, I didn't want to jinx it. I was like, I don't want to ruin this, but I was feeling so much better, so much more at peace. Like, I felt like I could breathe. The irritability was going down. Like, I was just feeling like myself again. It's been like 2 months now. I have not had coffee. I will take a sip of Ken's cup if I am feeling like I want a little taste of it. But I am so happy about the way that I'm feeling that I don't even crave it. I don't even want it because I felt so awful on it. And the one day, my friend brought me a cup of coffee. It was this tall Starbucks coffee, right? And I was like, like it looked so good. I was like, I'm just gonna take a couple sips. And almost immediately, I started to feel this feeling in my chest, like the stress and anxiety coming back. So no, off coffee. I'll drink a cup of decaf. But what I actually switched to is matcha green tea. Love the stuff. And if you follow my stories on Instagram at all, you know that I drink it a lot. I'm going to do a live on matcha as well. I kind of divided this video into like 3 separate videos because I didn't want to talk you guys' ear off. So first story on why I stopped drinking coffee, then we'll do one on magnesium and also one on matcha because I could talk a lot about matcha. It's so beneficial. It has so many benefits, and it's so good. It's refreshing and delicious. So I'll talk a little bit more on that, but I drink that now. It has less caffeine in it than coffee does, but it still gives you a little bit caffeine, and the caffeine also affects your body differently than what coffee does. So it's been such a great thing to switch to, and it has really helped me be able to cut cold turkey because I have something else that I can go to. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm really curious to know if this resonates with any of you. It's funny because I was sharing my story with a couple different moms, and I had a couple of them totally relate to the symptoms that I was having and saying, maybe that's the cause of that. And so I'm curious to know, message me or like let me know if you relate to this or maybe you're dealing with the same thing. I've learned that we're rarely ever going through something alone. And when I was pregnant with Zuri, that year was incredibly lonely because I felt like I just couldn't be around people because I was so irritable. I didn't like people that year. I couldn't handle it. And the symptoms were so scary that honestly, I didn't want to talk about it. I felt like I was going nuts. And you don't really want to share with somebody that you think you're losing your mind. So don't be alone in these things. Let's talk about it. There's other people going through the same thing. And I'm not anti-coffee. I think coffee is amazing. It just doesn't work with my body. My body wasn't reacting well to it. And so if you can drink coffee and feel really good on it, cheers. Drink one for me. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please like and share this video, and I'll be back next week, you can head over to my Facebook page because I go live every single week on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. If you want to see more videos and more content, head on over to my Facebook page and follow my page. Awesome. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week.